Hi, everybody. This is Eliz-sha from wisdomseekers.net. And I'm here today with the weekly for fire, which includes Aries, Leo, Sagittarius for the week of March 22nd to 28th, 2020. And we'll just jump into it. The first card I pulled was Just Breathe. And we can all agree that's a really appropriate. It's really appropriate for the world at this time. Just breathing is a really good way to ground. Is a good way to handle most situations that we find ourselves in. And for people like us who are all strong empaths, it's probably a very, very good way to keep us grounded by just breathing. And that's breathe into the nose if you can, and out with a sigh. So the first card is card of patience. That's a very good, appropriate event for right now when many people are self quarantining, or so two of Pentacles, and there's a lot of. I always call this my minor patience card. It's not the major patience card, so that's good. There's a lot of things happening we're not aware of or unaware of, and it's trying to stay balanced. And being self-quarantined doesn't mean you can't reach out. There's many ways of reaching out. So they call it social distancing, which I think is a very bad word to choose. I think we should call it something else, because we don't want to be isolated. We do not want to distance ourselves from other people. Now is the time to reach out and give solace to those who are afraid. Now is the time to reach out and just chat with your neighbor. But you can do it through social media, as long as we have social media. As long as we have somebody looking after the internet, we should be golden. Okay. And very amazing that covers it is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is, in my deck, all about the healing. It's all about knowledge. And knowledge gives us healing. And right now it's a great time of healing, which is very promising, very, very positive. So for fire, yeah, it was fire, right? This is a time of healing. And what's behind us is the Magician. A lot of new energy came into the world. A lot of energy that pushed and yanked and shoved everybody around. And we all remember the last few months have been really tremendously hard. Didn't matter if you're really spiritually advanced or not spiritually advanced. We were all rocked. And so a lot of energy, fresh energy, new energy was brought in. And now we're dealing with part of the cleansing, because it's pushing out the old. So the new is coming in, cleansing the old. We have a lot of support. 10 of Pentacles. Though, as a general rule, this support is from your guides and angels, and not so much from the physical. There's a bit from the physical. And now is the time that we are the people who are spiritually helping each other. And a lot of Six of Pentacles, what's coming up just in front of us, the Six of Pentacles is a lot of pieces are coming together. And this would be on the macro as well as the micro. So for individuals, a lot of pieces are coming together. And on the higher plane or the larger, broader spectrum, a lot of things are coming together in society as well. And what's just above us, and I'm going to read these two cards together, is Seven of Swords. There's a lot of sneaky things happening right now. Unfortunately, and we see that on the micro and the macro. People buying up all the meat in the store, or people buying up all the toilet paper to resell it. So, but on the macro level, things are happening behind the scenes, I suspect, that we've never seen before. And it doesn't take a psychic to tell you that when this all blows over, the face of our world will be different again. It was different after 9/11. It'll be different again after this event, because this event is even more traumatic than losing 3,000 souls instantly or very quickly. Because everybody in the world is affected intimately, not out there like, oh my God, that was horrible what happened in New York, but here, right in our own homes. What I'm going to read with it is the Ace of Pentacles, and it suggests that things are going to become more abundant. There's a lot of energy shifting and changing, but there's abundance coming in with this energy. And this is physical. This is on the physical plane, not so much the spiritual plane. But of course, right now, everything is equated with the spiritual and the physical. What supports us through the week is the High Priestess. So being able to look at things from a distance, step back and perceive what's happening without being emotionally involved is very, very important right now. The Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is having a solid solar plexus, not being bent out of shape so much. And you can be bent out of shape. That's not a big deal. It's that we bring yourself back into shape. So that's the breathe, just breathing. And it suggests that the Nine of Pentacles suggests that in the long run, or this week at least, Nine of Pentacles is being able to see the beauty in and enjoy the results of all our labors. And that's individually and hopefully macro as well as micro. But it is also a card of continuation. And the last card is the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune suggests that it's time to move, that we are again moving up. I suspect this time we're moving up in a much more spectacular fashion than just little increments. I think this is a huge one. We've done all the little increments of moving up, and now this is a big one. And these are the major arcana. So lots of energy came in, is coming in. Lots of healing is being done. And healing can be done in many forms, in many ways. And we may not know what many of the healings are, but it is being done. And we're moving up. And as a general read, when we move up to another level for a little while, the energy calms down. So right now it's just breathe. And the last card was be balanced. So that's these cards are all we needed this week. Just breathe and be in balance as much as possible. If you're out of balance, just allow yourself to come back into balance. Hello, everybody.
Miriam M says hello. Yasmin Fox says, hi ladies, how are you today? Moonfeather says, hi ladies, how are you both holding up? Lily Guild asks, hey, will Hendrix want to be with me after he gets out of jail? I think he's getting out in April.
Very nice. I suspect he does. I mean, you stood by him. and he has always appreciated it a great deal. So I suspect he probably will want to be with you. Okay.
Joe Firmino asks, hello, darling. You keep telling me that will have a surprise change coming soon. Can I know more about it?
If they were going to let you know about it, it will have to come from within, not from me, I'm afraid. But that energy is very strong. I suspect, and this is only a suspect because they're not going to tell me, that you step into your power a lot more than your own self-power, a lot more than you have. And so that's about all I've got. Okay.
Abby Roberts asks, hope you are doing well. How will my aunt's situation pan out?
Your aunts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what your aunt tells me is that it's going to turn out for the best for everybody involved, and that doesn't mean it's going to turn out the way you expect it to, or even are hoping, but it will turn out. But it will pan out to everybody's benefit. Well, to your aunt's benefit mostly, I think. That doesn't mean it's going to be what you expect it to be, or what you're hoping it to be. Okay, if that makes sense. But it will be good. It will be good for her. Okay.
Lily Guild says, hey.
Hey, Lily.
Zulmi R asks, hello, will Alex and I ever be together in a romantic relationship?
So remember you asked this. I got a very strong, not likely, but I got a really strong no. So if that's what you're waiting for, I don't think it's going that direction. Okay.
Maria Herrera says, hello, both.
Hi, Maria.
Moonfeather asks, is there anything you can pick up on regards to me and Lewis?
Maria,
Moonfeather
and
Lewis.
I think at the moment, and I'm assuming that you're in the younger age bracket, but for some reason at the moment, he's very caught up in the media-driven energy of the time, and that's what he's talking about more than anything.
You ready for the next one?
No, I'm just because he's more worried about the situation in the world right now. He's very worried about martial law, and it's hard to get through that to find out what he thinks about Moonfeather. After he stops worrying about what's happening in the world at large at the moment, I think you're going to find that he's more interested in you than he was. But you have to wait for what he's going through to die down first. Okay.
Yasmin Fox asks, what is M currently feeling about me? Thank you.
At the moment, I would stay. I would not push too hard. I would allow him some space at the moment because he's. It seems to be a very adrenaline-driven energy time for people, for men specifically, because their warrior instincts are kicking in, and they're and that's been their role for many years, right? So right now this is not a time of peace, and they can feel the energy, and they are very powerfully drawn to that energy. They're not panicking. It's not like go out and buy up the store kind of energy. It's more the powerful protection kind of energy that comes with just having the male energy. It's that they feel that there's a threat, and their energy is they are directing their energy more to what's happening. And it's like I say, it's not that they're going to go out and buy up the store kind of energy. It's more like how are they going to protect what needs to be protected? Okay.
Miriam M asks, any messages from my guides?
That your guides seem to think you're doing a really good job of staying in balance during this time, and because it is a huge shift energy, staying in balance is quite important, and being aware of everything that's happening. Not everything. You can't possibly be aware of everything that's happening, but being open to being aware of what's happening on a micro level and a macro level, if possible, is they're right there with you. Remember to ask for support and help from your guides every all the time. And that's basically it. They're really pleased with what you're doing. They're really pleased with the balance that you seem to be maintaining, and that, like I said, that's it.
Eagle Frisk asks, hi, do you have a message from my spirit guides?
I keep seeing when I talk to you, I keep seeing sculptures of some description. I think you do some kind of sculpturing, don't you? But for some reason, I think that when you do some sculpturing or working with your hands, you put a lot of energy into it, and that energy is beneficial for a lot of people. So I think that's something that you may want to consider. It's is that you're really good at making talismans or making things with energy in it, and that you should think about doing that more often. And it might be that at first you just give it to friends, but after a while, I suspect you could sell it. And I can't remember exactly. I do know you told me once that you did make things, and they're really, it's really important because I keep getting that over and over and over again. Okay.
Rachel N asks, will A and I ever live together?
It doesn't, at this point in time, I would think that the likelihood is not very high. I can, and it can change in the future, of course, but at this moment, that is not a huge likelihood.
Fiona R asks, does the Gemini J still have feelings for me?
At the moment, they are on the back burner. They're not gone, but literally they are on the back burner. There's something else taking his attention. If you know what that is, then that'll tell you whether you want to proceed or not, or wait around. But at the moment, his feelings for you are definitely on the back burner.
Mary Iced asks, my brother has the virus and I really wanted to know how long it will take. Oh, he wanted to know how long it will take for him to feel better.
I asked that question myself, actually. How long does it take? It takes, on an average, 1 week to 2 weeks, sometimes 3 if your immune system is crappy. So
I think his main concern, though, is will his wife get it?
Oh, you know what? Unless it depends on the age group, and it depends on her illness, her immunity system, and everything. It does appear to attack more likely the infirmed. And the chances are very high, yes, that she will get it, unfortunately. But I do see life continuing after the virus. So it's not an end of it's not an ending for you two. It's just not fun time. So good luck with that. And I'm sorry that he has the virus. Hopefully you're healthy enough to help uh, help his
Your
wife
brother.
when she succumbs.
Penelope asks, what messages does the Gemini have for me?
Well, you're on his list of people to protect or try to protect in this world at large. So that's very positive. So that means he does care for you a great deal. And that's basically all I'm getting is he cares for you.
Lily Guild says Jordan is a narcissist, so I'm done with him.
Good choice.
Angel Wings asks, will there be any new love for me this year?
This is going to be for you a year of huge upheaval and shifts and changes. And you're going to be spending more time dealing with the shifts and changes to pay much attention to love. Honestly, they will be quite dramatic shifts and changes. Maybe next fall or early winter, things can shift and change for you in that respect.
Kimber Single Aquarius asks or says, hey y'all. Champagne C says, hey Eliz-sha and L. Maria Herrera asks, any advice from the angels? Thank you both.
They're suggesting that right now you just breathe and try not to think too much, not to worry too much. Spend as much time as you can just enjoying what you have. And I know this is something I've been warning against, but in your case, Maria, do try to social distance physically, not online, but physically.
Jenny Jones asks, hello ladies, do you see any new love coming my way?
Probably towards later part of spring, early summer, maybe. It depends on. Again, I'm going to put this out there. We're in a time of huge social change. Things are going to be radically different from what they have been, and you're going to have to deal with the radical changes. So your first thoughts are not going to be about romance. If they happen, that'd be great. But your first thoughts are going to be about dealing with the social shift and changes that are going on. So romance can happen, but it won't happen because you're looking for it. It will happen because it just is. It's just what is in the cards. So yes, very possibly, but at the same time, it's not quite as dominant in your life as you think it should be.
Emily Aquine asks, what's coming towards me in love?
It's St. Patrick's Day. You should be thinking about alcohol.
I mean, alcohol leads to other things.
Yeah, but that's not love. uh, at the moment, your energy is not, it's not really conducive to a relationship. There's other things happening in your life that are far more important than a relationship. And honestly, when I ask about a guy, all I get is sort of a gray fog, which doesn't mean he can't loom out of the fog. But basically what it means is there's other things that are far more important for you right now to think about than a relationship. So it's always fun to have a dream. Keep the dream, but do pay attention to what is right in front of you. What is going to shift and change for you completely, and there will be a lot of shifting and changing for people. Okay.
Champagne C asks, can we do a quick check-in on Angel in regards towards me? Thank you, Eliz-sha, as always, for your time.
He's definitely thinking more about reaching out to contact you more in a physical way. I think at the moment, definitely thinking more about reaching out to contact you more in a physical way. I think at the moment, children, and so he's actually being socially responsible. But he is definitely thinking about you, daydreaming about you. But as I said, he's actually being socially responsible. Okay.
Tay asks, hello, do my spirit guides have any messages for me for the next couple of weeks?
They have a big smile on their face, and they seem to be holding something furry and fuzzy. And so I think that's still a go ahead. If you can get out and about in any way, shape, or form. If not, if that's not what they're saying, then they're saying they're looking after they're looking after your little furry. Well, until you can find until the two of you can connect.
Gabby McMaster asks, hello, any special messages from my guides?
So they showed me somebody being clipped on the chin, and I suspect that might be part of what's you feel is happening to you right now. And what they're suggesting is just roll with it. It's not as big as you think it is, and you're going to be it's going to work out to your benefit. Everything is going to work out for you in the long run. So just be patient. Okay.
Lily Dulo asks, hello, how are you? I will ask for insight regarding my economy. We are paralyzed, and so is the economic situation. Do you see me struggling in paying my loan or bills? Actually, nothing is sure, and I feel nothing.
I think I think even in Albania they're going to have to do some forgiving for the bills and stuff, because I don't see a lot of people being able to pay those things right now if there's people cannot work. And as you said, it's closed off. So I do suspect that it's going to be okay. It's not going to be comfortable.
AP asks, hey, Elisha and Elle, may I please ask what my future husband will be like? Thank you.
That is the thing is, you're asking about something, a nebulous something, that I can tell him what he'll be like probably now, but I can also tell you that you're going to shift and change, and because you shift and change, that future is going to shift and change, and the person you're going to end up married to, it's not necessarily going to be whom I can describe today. And so right now it is a nebulous and kind of useless. Just suffice to say that he has at the moment, that person has very intense eyes. Is a bit not much sense of humor. Very intense human being that can shift and change. And I suspect as you shift and change, and you are in the process of shifting and changing, that will change a great deal. Okay.
Jennifer, or Champagne Sea says, yes, Ascension for us, fire signs, good deal.
Yeah.
Jennifer Schwab asks, hello, ladies. Hope you're doing well. Do you see my husband, Tony, or son-in-law, Brendan, having any health issues from the virus over the next couple of weeks? They work together. Thank you.
Okay. They might, but if they do, they have the mild form of it. Both of them, mild to medium. It's nothing major. You know, like I say, 81% have mild, 14% have moderate, and they easily fall within that category. So if they do, it's not going to be a big deal. A lot of the people tested and tested positive didn't even know they were sick. Honest to God, okay.
Love Life asks, hi, Elisha, what does Rob think of me?
Okay, almost all I can answer almost all those questions about what Guy thinks of me right now. Is the men are all on high alert, and it has nothing to do. It has to do with the fact that they are men, and they can sense that there is it's kind of like a warrior situation going on, where they where they where their attention is almost completely drawn towards that. So they they think of a person, but their attention is, what do I have to do to protect and things like that. So almost every male has got the same reaction right now. Is, well, as one of Jen's, my middle daughter's male friends said, shit's getting real, and he's not worried about food and this and that. He's worried about the people reacting dumb. And so that's where the majority of the male energy is right now, is they're worried about what's going to happen with the people. Okay.
Christine asks, hey ladies, what are his intentions now that he wants to communicate again? Should I hear him out?
I think you should hear him out, but go in with don't go in with automatic yes, I want to be with him. And he seems to be coming from a point. His point of view is he's coming from a very viable place. I don't feel that you should necessarily just go, yeah, I trust you. If that makes sense, hear him out, but do it with many grains of salt.
Gabriela Almamia asks, hello ladies, any messages for me?
They're just suggesting that you take life one day at a time, and basically, and there's a book. It's called "Don't Sweat the Small Stuff," and everything's the small stuff. And basically, that's what they're suggesting: is that you be patient and ignore a lot of what's going on around you, verbiage and things like that, and just hold in your heart where you're coming from and what you're doing, and just go do that right now. Okay.
Jenny Jones says, thank you. Maria Herrera says, thank you very much. I will do that. I appreciate what Elle and you do for us.
Thank you.
Joanne Stanley says, happy St. Daddy's Day.
Patty's Day, yeah.
She wrote Daddy's Day,
but I think she
means Patty's. Kimber Signal Aquarius says, I've noticed that I am always the third one to press like on here for the third time in a row.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Three is a very strong number.
Angela up here, I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong, says, hi sweetie, I've been getting rid of financial blocks. Can you see if I've got them all? Thank you.
One of the things I believe that's happening right now is that the energy for the financial blocks is part of the energy of leaving right now. So the likelihood is very strong that you are. And you still have a few left, but you've got rid of the biggest part, the ones that really block you. So there's just a little bit more to go, and it might happen naturally, or you just might need to give it a bit of a shove. I would also recommend you go on and look at Jennifer Hoffman. She has something. It's on my Wisdom Seekers page. You have to scroll down a little bit, but there's a video up there which she talks about gatekeepers, I think they're called, and you might be interested in that.
Sagittarius says, thank you. The Orchlins that have Haruka's reincarnated form was supposed to be on the 14th. Ended up not getting the bunnies in and said it would be sometime in the next week. I just want to bring her home, and that is really sweet that they are looking after her for me.
Yeah, they've got her. They obviously really like her because they're all holding her.
A Jagged Leaf Medicinal says, hi again. Do any Ascended Masters have any messages for me today? Thanks.
Basically, they're just saying keep up the good work, and what you're doing with you were saying that you were doing splicing stuff with what you work on. They're saying that's very important work what you're doing at the moment, and but basically they're just saying keep up the good work.
Laura H asks, hi ladies, how are you? I hope you're doing fine. May I have a message from my spirit guides, please?
So they're telling me that you're very intense and you're working too hard. And I'm not sure exactly in what area, they didn't say, but they're suggesting that maybe look a little bit better after yourself. Make sure you eat the right foods, make sure you stay healthy. So don't be quite so intense, is basically what I'm getting. Okay.
Jennifer Schwab says, thank you. I will continue to be careful with cleaning. After your warning last week about the virus being around my family, I was worried. Your message today makes me feel a little more relaxed about it.
No, they just said you were going to be adjacent. They didn't say it was going to be in your life. They said it's going to be adjacent, which is you're going to be in contact with it. That's all they said. Don't worry so much. And you're young, you're healthy. The likelihood of it being a big problem is quite a bit less. Okay. It's just, you just don't want to spread it around.
Lily Dulo says, thank you. Government is taking some measures, but I think it will all struggle.
Yeah, it's not going to be comfortable, but it's going to work out, if that makes any sense.
Joanne Stanley says, I'm 33.
Okay.
She's the one that was the third person to like the video.
Okay. That's pretty powerful energy there.
Angela Napier says, okay, thank you. Rain Zane says, hello.
That's a different name.
Yeah. Joanne Stanley says, namaste, stay safe, stay awesome.
You too. Everybody stay awesome.
Kimber Single Aquarius asks, I would like to know how. Wait, did she already ask a question?
I don't think I remember the name today.
It's commented a bit, but okay. I'd like to know how am I and my baby going to be affected by the outbreak?
You personally, by the outbreak itself, the disease itself, you're not. You will be affected by what happens in the society at large, but not by the disease itself. Your baby and you are going to be, even if you get it, it's not a big deal. You're not going to be one of the ones in the 5% that that end up dying and things like that. Okay, you are health-wise, you're fine. The effect that will happen will be what happens in society because of everything. Okay.
Rain Zane asks, what has my boss heard about my work/output?
He's heard something, but he's put it to the side because he doesn't quite trust the messenger. So he may be paying more attention to you, but he wants to know. He wants to see it for himself. He doesn't trust. He actually doesn't trust the messenger. I don't know if you're good or bad. All I get is he doesn't really trust the messenger, so he's not paying much attention to what that was said, but is going to watch and see how you work. He's going to find out for himself. So there you go. It might be that things are going to get. He might like what he sees, basically. Okay.
Rain Zane says namaste. Kimber Signal Aquarius says thank you, ladies. SLSL asks, hello, ladies. Is there a black magic spell casted on my ex?
I hate to say this, but I got a yes. There's a lot of that going around. It's simple. It's simple, easy to fix. If you've got the energy, just go in and unwind it. It's like a string. Just unwind a string, and see what happens from there.
Nawal Lua, and I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong, asks, hi ladies, how are you? I just feel like I'm always struggling in this life, never seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. What's the meaning of my life?
It probably means that you're a light worker. And a lot of people have come in for that, and the struggle is the healing. And not for you particularly, but for everybody around. Not every, but you're working to clear the energy of the world, not the whole world by yourself completely, but that's probably just basically what it means is you're a light worker. And light workers have traditionally had a hard time. if, from what I understand, and again, this is something you should go listen to Jennifer Hoffman. She's on my Wisdom Seekers page, or go directly to Jennifer Hoffman for that matter. But the one I'm talking about is on my Wisdom Seekers Facebook page. You have to scroll down a little bit, but it will probably give you a lot more answers than questions, and it might give you a lot more questions too. That's because that's just the way nature is. But it also might give you a ray of hope. And yes, I understand.
Laura H. says thank you and blessings. Gabriela Alma Mia says thank you so much. Hope and pray you feel better soon. Blessings to you and your family and all. And I guess we're ending on Kimber Sigel Aquarius saying thank you so much.
Oh, well, that's cool. We've got 5 minutes.
Jennifer Schwab says my asthma's been acting up more lately and making me more worried about the virus because of it. But you have made me feel much better about it. Thank you so much. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Cheers.
Okay, consider this, because my daughter has asthma, and I also have a little bit of allergies that affect my lungs. Just because you have allergies or asthma doesn't mean that the virus you're going to get is going to be in that 5 percentile that is really bad. You can still get this virus and still be fine, have a light case or moderate case. All right. So just because you have asthma, it is not a death sentence. It just simply means you're more at risk. And the chances are that you can get this virus and it'll be really mild. But because you are being careful and washing your hands and taking the elderberry juice, and also make sure you have on hand colloidal silver, and you want maybe a tablespoon every couple of hours. 4 hours, is it? 5 hours? I can't remember exactly. Go listen to Linda's tape if you haven't already listened to it. Linda will tell you a lot of things to do to clean the house. So, and really, the hand sanitizers are bacterial, not viral. Make your own. If there's no alcohol, get vodka or tequila or something like that.
Vodka is apparently not strong enough to kill bacteria/viruses. So someone was saying you need to get the highest proof,
which would be about 40 proof. Sometimes you can
proof. Get like 50 proof.
Yeah, and tequila. Tequila is usually pretty powerful. So just, and then you can put in witch hazel. You can put in there's a lot of different things you can put in, and put in a little bit of rosemary too, because that will get rid of the energy of negativity. Not just it's not just a what do you say? It's not so that it's not just physical bacteria. It'll get rid of the energy of the bacteria, okay, or a virus. But there's lots of antiviral things out there that you can put together, and vinegar. Wash with vinegar. Okay, but just remember, just because you have asthma, it's not a death sentence. It's very few people actually are dying. Even in Italy, I don't know what the death toll is today, but yesterday, only 1,000 people had died, and the majority of them were older and infirmed, and the majority are in their 80s. I am not saying that's good, but they have lived a longer life, and it is not, and many of them are ready to move on anyhow. So just because you get the virus doesn't mean you're going to die. Okay, it just simply means that you've got the virus, and it could be same as any flu, mild or not mild. Okay.
Noel Lua says thank you and take care. Jennifer Schwa or Aparna B says hello, wise lady. Any messages for me?
So Perna, basically grounding is going to be the most important thing you can do right now. I really do believe you have to start saying yes, whether you like it or not, and stay grounded. Okay.
Jennifer Schwab finishes us off, and we will finish off here with that's good to know. I did buy elderberry and colloidal silver. Can you take both together? I will watch Linda's video again to refresh my knowledge.
Yeah, there's no problem with it. I mean, I have colloidal silver, I have elderberry, and I don't see that there's any problem with you taking it together. I don't think you need to, unless you figure you've been infected, and probably in your case, because the guides actually said you were adjacent, it might be a good idea. And the colloidal silver will get rid of viruses. I would also recommend diatomaceous earth. That's one thing nobody talks about, but diatomaceous earth, I don't know, and this is just a personal thing. I have an infection for years that was supposed to follow me to my grave, and I'm not sure if it's bacterial or viral, but I know when I take the colloidal silver, I don't have to take any pills to prevent it.
Or the diatomaceous earth, which is what you were talking about.
What did I say?
Colloidal silver.
Okay, I meant diatomaceous earth. I don't have to take the pills that I was taking lifelong when I take the diatomaceous earth, and it does make your hair stronger and things like that. Your fingernails stronger, just because it's a silicate. But you don't want to eat a lot of it. This is personal. You start out with a very small amount, like half a teaspoon. Okay, but there's so many things you can do to improve your immunity that it's worth looking into.
If you if you look up Nerdist, they have a video. Maybe even because science, they have a video about all the frequently asked questions about the coronavirus. It cannot be transmitted through animals or by animals. But look up the video, and it should answer all the questions you might have.
Because I've got my information, and I have to sort through it to make sure, because sure it's right. Like there's a video out there that says if you drink hot water, the virus can't be transmitted. Well, that's false. So I have to go through this, and I've done a lot of research. I honestly think that there's a lot. There's a lot of other things happening along with it.
There's a lot of fake news floating around, so just fact check everything you hear and read.
Yeah, and
do the legwork.
And don't go to Snoops, because Snoops is not. It's not. It's not. It doesn't give you truth.
But just for anything, all across the board, do the legwork yourself. Don't just trust
because
voice.
Because for instance, I have to figure out if it's right or not, and I may choose wrong. So always go check for yourself.
And if you do find out that we are wrong in something,
please
let us know. We appreciate it, so we don't continue to spread false information ourselves.
But we try not to. But do wash your hands.
Yeah.
Until your hands are. But then afterwards, I notice my hands because because I'm an old woman, right? I use the facilities a lot more than young people do. I notice my hands are getting really rough. Anyhow, I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet, so
I will be back tomorrow.
we have 3 more days. So namaste, namasko.
Bye, everybody.
Have fun.
Stay safe.
Yeah, and
Stay clean.
that too. But reach out to different people via medias if you have to. But reach out.